So Dalwhinnie for me is, again, it's a distillery that's underrated. It needs to be talked up. It needs to be understood. And in a lot of cases, to understand the Distillers editions, you need to taste them back to back with their original expression. Have any of you tasted Dalwhinnie before?
Yes, the first single malt I ever tried. The
first single malt you ever tried. So this is like, I won't say Bride's Head, this is Dalwhinnie Revisited. Yes. Fantastic. So this is one that I think will definitely benefit from extra time in the mouth, because you're going to get the beauty of the vanilla, the coconut and the vanillin and citrus notes that you get on normal Dalwhinnie added to the Oloroso sherry characters, which gives it kind of like an oiliness. It's almost like, any of you drink Riesling? Yeah. You drink Riesling? If you drink Riesling, often you say, my God, it's so silky. It's almost like petrol. It's like oil. Do you know what I'm saying? Now, that's not a great description when you're there, particularly if you're a sommelier. They go, what do you recommend with the Dover Sol? You go, oh, I recommend the Adelaide Hills Riesling. It's got a great petrol character. I mean, boosh. Do you know what I mean? So you've got to use a different word, but it has got an oily, petrol-y nose and mouthfeel. Now, this comes quite close to it because the sherry cask has given it a different texture. Oily. Almost like a vermouth oiliness. So the proof of the pudding, as always, is in the ingredients. But it does show you that accentuated cask enhancement will change the DNA of the perceived distillery. This is taken on to a different level. When I first nosed it, I thought I'd gone back in my time in my previous company with an aged Yamazaki. And I often feel that Japanese whiskey is the missing link between bourbon and Scotch. You know, bourbon is, I'm not saying it's one-dimensional, it's got a lot of plus factors, but because of the charring of the casks, it kind of gives it a dimension that jumps out, that occasionally is replicated, like in that grain whiskey we had from Port Dundas. Whereas here now, sherry influence often gives characteristics like nuts and spice, plums and raisins and figs, fig rolls, fudge, you know. So now you're putting them together. It's a blend. It's a whiskey that's being taken to a new level. So just have a little nose, allow it to sort of really envelop your nostrils. Again, this is so pleasant. You see what I mean? We talk. What's the subject of tonight's tasting? Summer whiskies, right? Everything that you're trying tonight is geared towards feeling comfortable in a convivial atmosphere where it's adding, like an illustration does to a book. It gives it more credence. So let's give it a try. 17 years old, so as long as you can, actually, get that oily, silky note, the way that it rolls over the tongue, and allow the flavours to really come out. Just keep it going. It's a beautiful texture to this. Man. Hey, look at that. You want to see a whiskey moment? Look, there is a whiskey moment. Isn't that great? That is seriously good. You see what I'm talking about here? What a finish. Even if you do say there's a slight burn there, that is alcohol, and it is 43% of that. But that is just, and you can use now. What I'm getting at is, now that you've tasted it like that, you can see, look how much you've still got on the glass. You can do that another 3 or 4 times. When I go to the pub, I'm a cheap date, right? A whiskey lasts me 30 minutes. I drink small amounts, long. I want flavour, I want balance, I want aroma, texture. And when you get great whiskies that taste as good as that does, Dalwhinnie, the mix that the blender, the distillery manager has put together, has given us an edge that I think epitomises the new generation of what's being created in Scotland today. Superb expressions, bringing it on. So you've still got tradition if you want it, but if you want innovation, that's happening as well. It's not just happening with, you know, companies that I work with. You've got independents, you know, you've got new distilleries starting up all the time, and this is, at the moment, I'd say a vibrant industry that's bringing more converts than ever before, thanks to the diversity of the styles of whiskey that are on offer.